And for those who are new, we are sharing the book Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose. It's a channeled book by Sonia Chokwit by her she calls by her guides, and they dictated actually this material to her. And this book is divided into two parts. Part 1 has again 11 lessons of total 22. Part 1 deals mostly with dismantling the false beliefs and dismantling the false ego. And then part 2 actually deals with increasing your vibration and moving more towards connecting to the higher self. In the end, they say that Earth is a school and everything that we have been experiencing is a challenge and a lesson. And once we pass the challenge, we go to the next stage. And so today we are at lesson 15, and it's called Embrace Life's Tests. And last soul lesson was about accepting death. Quite a powerful soul lesson. And today we will again go to 15th soul lesson, also quite interesting. And as usual, before every meditation or before every soul lesson, we meditate to again calm our minds, connecting to our higher self so that we can absorb more information. So with that, I request every one of you to please close your eyes, clasp your hands, and cross your legs. And just observe your normal, natural breath. With each in breath, you're going more into the present moment. And with each out breath, you're even relaxing. So just inhale and exhale, following the natural breath. Use the music as a background. Be with your breath, my dear friends. Stay with the breath, friends. Bring back the attention always to the breath. Last 5 minutes. Stay in this amazing energy, the group consciousness. Stay with your breath, my dear friends. Last 10 seconds. Slowly bring back your attention to the surroundings. Notice how your body is totally relaxed. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly place your hands on your eyes, and you may open your eyes whenever you're ready. For those who wants to continue, please go ahead. So thank you so much, friends, for the wonderful meditation. And with that, today we go ahead for the soul lesson 5, soul lesson 15, and it's a fifth lesson in part 2. So embrace life's tests. So the guides begin channeling. Your soul progresses toward mastery by facing tests. These help you temper your human reactions and develop your higher spiritual ones. They appear in the form of challenges, disappointments, betrayals, upsets, trials, losses, and even injuries and sickness. It is easy to believe that you are a divine immortal soul when everything goes according to your wants and desires. It is more difficult to remember your inner being's purpose and power and to remain connected to your higher self and centered when life becomes demanding. It is only when you confront all situations with grace, patience, and love that you find your strength and ultimate freedom and graduate to living in harmony with your greater consciousness. Tests are not in place to harass you, but to move you forward so towards soul mastery. They help you measure your spiritual understanding and mark your progress. In order to advance from one grade to the next in school, for example, you are given exams that you must pass. Similarly, to obtain a driver's license, your knowledge is evaluated and you must demonstrate your competence on the road to ensure your safety as well as that of others. In these situations, the tests that you face are not intended to torment or hurt you. They are designed to make certain that there is nothing essential in the educational process that you have overlooked or misunderstood. They are there for your benefit to assure your progress. For instance, if you lack the necessary knowledge of algebra, you will not have the tools to succeed in trigonometry and will therefore have to return to your studies and correct your weaknesses before moving on. No matter what happens, take it in stride and recognize it as part of divine curriculum for your soul's growth. When you are in the eye of life's storms, all things feel personal. With distance and objectivity, however, you begin to see more clearly how a challenge is just shaping your soul. And here, author gives a lot of examples from her from her clients and from her readings. And one of the experience is about a woman um, who is actually quite spiritual, and it's she's also belonging to the others others group. So other goes on now. I read for a client last month who was more than ready to undertake some of her soul's tests. A highly devoted woman who had belonged to a spiritual group with her husband for over 30 years. She meditated on a regular basis, volunteered at an abused women's shelter 2 days a week, and had taught children about dance, prayer, and meditation for more than 15 years. Everyone who knew her agreed that she was nearly a saint in every way and marveled at her beautiful and loving essence. She too felt that she was on the right path. This held true until within a span of 6 months. Her husband of 26 years left her for a younger member of their spiritual group. Her son was arrested for attacking his wife and then sentenced to 18 months in jail, and she was diagnosed with stage 1 uterine cancer. That's when we met. Why is all of this happening to me? She cried after she sat down in my office. I have been good. I have been spiritual and selfless. What horrible things must I have done in the past to warrant so much pain and suffering? Sobbing hysterically, she continued, "Tell me, Sonia, was I a monster in a previous life? What else could explain why I deserve all this?" Her question revealed a basic error in perception and one that secretly ruled all of her choices. She believed that what we get or what happens to us is based on how good or bad we have been. The truth is that we are neither saints nor sinners. We are divine children of God, holy and made of love. Our life's journey is designed by our soul to help us learn. The Creator assists us by agreeing to this curriculum and setting up tests for us to pass in order to progress. As I do with all my clients, I explain that her suffering and challenges weren't payback for past sin, as she feared, but rather for an opportunity given to her by God to grow even more. If she accepted it, she would learn to stop living in fear, giving too much at her own expense, and being so hard on herself with her overly rigid spiritual practices. Although she had been married for decades and was devoted to her spouse and son, neither man was loving, kind, or appreciative of her, nor had they been for many years. Her husband had cheated on her many times over the years, but never left. Her grown son had frequently been physically abusive and demanding, and had even attacked her once or twice. Although her situation was painful to accept, she was being liberated from this bad treatment through recent events. God was inviting her to learn to love and honor herself the way she would cherished and respected everyone else. Her cancer was in an early enough stage that she had a great chance of survival and even complete remission. None of what she faced was placed before her as punishment. Rather, her difficulties were given to her as an opportunity to quit beating upon herself and expand her capacity to love even more. She would already she had already mastered the soul lessons of unconditional care for others, as demonstrated by her relentless devotion and service to so many for so long. She was now undergoing instruction in a new course on unlimited regard for herself. This was even more challenging area of growth as she was discovering. Calmed and reassured that she didn't deserve this as she had feared at first, she smiled and then laughed. Honestly, she confessed in sheer relief. My first reaction to my husband leaving and my son going to prison was God riddance. They were both as self-centered as they could be, and I don't miss them. So this is the story, friends. It brings up a beautiful wisdom from one of the real life experience of the clients. And the guides continue. You can never truly get away with less than loving behavior toward anyone, even yourself. Master teacher and great avatar, Jesus Christ said it best: "Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me." When you mistreat another, not only do you disrespect and hurt their inner being, you also harm and degrade your own. You may think you can get away with this, especially if no one is looking. But you compromise your integrity and sacrifice your grace and dignity when you disparage someone else or mean to yourself. All humans have a shadow side: the thief, bully, petty tyrant, manipulator, and abuser, to name a few, especially when engaging with those whom you project to be greater or lesser than yourself. On a soul level, there is no hierarchy of importance. All spirits are equally precious. How do you face all these soul tests? Are you patient, kind, and tolerant? Or are you impatient, abusive, and rude? It does not matter who observes this, you know the truth. Each of these situations is placed in your path to give you a chance to exercise more love and tenderness. Rather than being resistant or fearful when faced with a tough situation, recognize it as an indication that your soul is ready to grow. Meet your challenges with courage and know that you are never given anything that you are not prepared for. Furthermore, you never have to undergo any test alone. Call on your guides, angelic helpers, and higher self to help you navigate through any difficulty that comes up. Ask for assistance and be open to receiving it. Now you can apply the lessons. So, here, friends, all the four stages of the lessons come here: student, apprentice, journeyman, and master. If you take every challenge or upset that you face personally, fear that you deserve what happens to you, only behave kindly when observed, let your shadow reign your life, then you are a student. If you overreact, panic, or get angry when undergoing difficulties, collapse in fear, or act out in retaliation when things do not go your way, and ask, "Why is this happening to me?" then you are an apprentice. If you do not overinterpret events and respond calmly when situations go awry, see the correlation between what you preach and what you actually do and strive to keep them in harmony. Behave with kindness even when there is no audience watching you, or recognize that it is not what happens but rather how you respond to what unfolds that matters, then you are a journeyman. If you see all events, whether good or bad, as God growing your spirit, look at every tough situation that arises as an indication of that your soul has entered another learning curve. Embrace difficulty calmly or watch your emotions and keep them under control. Then you are on your way to mastering this lesson. So finally, our author gives some tips. If you identify you're a student, step back and take a few deep breaths before reacting to an upset or challenge. Do not take anything that happens to you personally, even if it seems as though someone or something is out to get you. Think of any problems as tests. If you're an apprentice, focus on remaining grounded and calm throughout any emotional, physical, or mental difficulty by using deep breathing, slow stretches, and prayer. Notice the silver lining in past hardships and look for the positive aspects of present challenges as well. Practice meditation and detachment on a daily basis so that when something burdensome occurs, you have experience in being calm. If you are a journeyman, view challenges as an indication that your soul is growing. Look for opportunity in every difficult situation or crisis. If you are on your way to mastering this lesson, count the number of times in a day that you are tested as a spirit. Strive to pass each soul exam with more calm and grace than one before. Expect and even look forward to tests and let God know that you are willing and even excited to be tried, as it is a sign of your growth. Your soul's lesson: the soul grows to mastery through tests. Your soul's purpose: to respond to life's challenges with calm acceptance, creative dignity, and grace. So that is it, friends. These are the tips if you had when you identify to one of the type: student, apprentice, journeyman, or master. And today's soul lesson is embrace life's tests. Thank you so much for listening. Hi, Ram.
Hi, Shashank.
Hi, Madoka.
Hey, Shashank. It was a wonderful, wonderful soul lesson. Completely enjoyed it, and I could not stop myself to share first.
Please go
So,
ahead.
what you said is very true, Shashank, and it's a great lesson to learn that when challenges comes to us, when challenges knocks our door, we feel very depressed. But the example of the driver license, when you get a driver license, before that you have to undergo some test. It doesn't mean that you don't know, or like it doesn't mean that like you are put into a test in a different manner, but it is a test to know yourself. That's it. So it's very wonderful, and my journey also started in the same manner. I was also this like the same lady that the client who had come to this Sonia. I was also, when miscarriage happened to my life, I was just questioning myself, what wrong did I do? Like all through my life, I had been very nice, then why this thing had happened to me? So I used to question myself, and then later I understood that everything, the simplest to the hardest thing that happens in our life, happens with a reason. Nothing happens by chance. And each time a test has been put to us, we have to prove ourselves that yes, we can come out of it. If the test is there, that means I have to pass that test. And I always say to myself, and I always say to everyone, that if there are no problems in our life, how can we prove ourselves that we are strong? So the tests are not the hardest situations in our life. Is not hard at all. Instead, they are all a great lessons to be learned, and so we have to learn from it. If we don't learn from it, in the same kind of situations we have to undergo. So the better we learn early, the better our life will be. So thank you so much, Shashank, for this wonderful soul lesson. I completely enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Madhaka. Excellent wisdom. Thank you for sharing your experience. Very inspiring.
Thank you, Shashank.
Thank you. I see Vindhya ji. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Sashank ji. Thank you for sharing that soul lesson. It was very nice. The example too that Madhuji just now mentioned. Um, yeah, I've not personally experienced, but I've seen around me many friends and people, and maybe such situation can happen in future where we are doing everything right and we are leading our life the way we think is the right way, and then something happens and then we start questioning. And I've seen many people question, but I like the way you put it, or the lesson put it, where it is a soul lesson and we start embracing. That's beautiful. I'm still a little confused between that student and apprentice phase, because the way that example you mentioned also, it was, I don't know. I understand the journey and master phase, but student and apprentice, I'm still a little confused. Can you explain that a little more?
In general, they, or let's say the guides, they generally distinguish as these four stages. Do you mean in how they are describing, or in
Yeah,
respect
like
to this
student and
lesson?
apprentice, like, is it like a level higher? But if it is apprentice is little higher, then what is he doing differently from student? Is what I was trying to analyze.
Okay. So generally they say like to embrace each lesson or to learn each lesson, every soul must pass through these lessons, these stages, sorry.
Stages, yeah.
So if you are a student, in their own words, this information is completely new, and it's completely opposite to your current way of thinking. So you can even, you will even like, you'll be shocked at this type of lesson or type of
Mm-hmm.
message that's given.
Mm-hmm.
And they also say like, the more frustration or suffering you have, the clearer the indication that you're a student. But on the other hand, if you're an apprentice in a particular lesson, this assignment is not entirely new. You would have been exposed to it before. That means you would have known this concept from somewhere else, but you are kind of, getting in a different perspective, and you might even be practicing it.
Okay.
So that's the difference according like here.
Yeah, that makes. I still don't know. I mean, it's nice. I don't even think. I don't know why we need all these demarcations, but maybe it shows the progress of this thing. Maybe because I can embrace most of those things, I can understand. I may not be practicing, but understanding the concepts, what they are explaining. I was reading this book, I'm still in the middle, The Surrender Experiment, and how, like, he talks about how those fears that you mentioned and all in the other discussions, how not to listen. And when you let go of those, how you can actually then see this as a lesson and go through it. I don't know, somehow all these things connect so well. I'm not able to explain very well, but it's all falling in place in my mind. But thank you very much. Maybe when I finish the book, I can share much better. But right now, I just thought of the connection. Thank you,
Yes,
Sashank.
yes, Vinyaji. Thank you so much. These are all connected. I also see that here the knowledge, yeah, you can find everywhere. This is very beautifully put together so that it's a kind of self-reflection to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have Kinjazi. I cannot, I'm not sure if I pronounce correctly. Kinja. Could you please unmute yourself?
Hello, it's
Hello.
Kinza.
Kinza. Okay. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you
So,
for joining today.
yeah, it's my first session with you. I really liked it and I enjoyed it. In fact, it was really good. Mindful insight. I didn't know about it. I just want to ask can you just repeat the stages? Number one was student. What was the second one, please?
Sure. The second one is apprentice, and the third one was journeyman, and the fourth one was master.
Acha, actually,
Yeah.
I'm not getting the second one. Can you pronounce or can you write in the chat so I can explore like more?
Sure.
Um,
It's apprentice. So
apprentice. Okay.
apprentice, like
Okay.
apprenticeship.
Okay. And
Yeah.
journeyman and the last one is the master. Okay.
Master. Correct.
Okay. So I lie in the student category. Matlab, I just rush. I get exhausted. I get frustrated. Much more to learn and practice, I think.
Yeah, it's like we're all in the end again. We have humans, and at the same time we are also the divine beings whenever we, tune. I think we identify ourselves with in several stages.
Yeah.
Like there are some here in this book, they really explain like even the people who like when we teach so many things, but if we are put in those situations, we also react. So it's a
Definitely.
kind of balance.
Because we are human being at last now.
Yeah.
We've got emotions. We have got triggering points, aggravating factors.
Yes.
There are threshold as well because
Yes.
body once it reaches to the threshold level, I think you react at somewhat sometime you have to. Maybe nothing you can say at times things are not in your control, although they are, but at times you react. I think so.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a mindful session. Inshallah, I'll be continuing. Thank you.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much
Bye-bye.
for sharing your experience. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Okay, Anita, she's commented here. Hi, Madoka. You want to share? Or Ram?
Yeah, Shashank. We just decided we have to confuse you today.
I'm always, you two are the same. So, from now I will call Madhuram.
Okay, nice. So Madhu was so enthusiastic on sharing first today, and I also loved equally today's sharing again. And it boils down on various levels. One is about how we need to undergo things that come through our life, and at the same time, a different reflection that past me was even when we hear other people undergoing the difficulties, how we look at them, or how we take them, that was also a kind of reflection that came to me, that many times we kind of take it very emotionally. At the same time, going through these lessons continuously, we also understand from a different level completely. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful, truly, that life is really there to each one of us to live and to grow. So thanks a lot. Even that example of the lady, um, when we hear, it seems like a movie, but in the end, if it is just happening to us, or if it is just happening to someone very close to us, we kind of do not tend to go through many times with the way these lessons are being shared. However, that is where our lesson and learning and our wisdom and our learning stays. So there are so many layers to each soul lesson that you are sharing. Thanks a lot, Shashank.
Yes, Ram. Thank you so much for explaining again in a different perspective. Always up for it. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Swaruji.
Hello, sir. I am Dr. Anita from Pakistan.
Okay. Anita ji. Yes. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have no words to praise you because
Oh,
you tell us excellent, excellent, and pearls of knowledge. I can't express my words, but these are very amazing.
thank you, ji.
Thank you, sir.
It's
Thank
the
you, sir.
book and the guides. I'm just sharing, but thank you. Thank you, ji.
But the way of sharing is excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
today's session.
Yeah, this is Varna. Thank you,
Hi, Shwana ji.
Shashank. Thank you. Yeah, as always, it's a wonderful session, wonderful meditation too. I think that energy always guides us and takes us to the deep meditation, even though we don't hear the topic. But yeah, it was wonderful sharing. Life, whatever comes, is everything. Take it as a test. God's is test, especially God is trying to make you strong, and He wants you to progress. That's why He gives you all these tests. And it is also as part of your soul journey. You might have come up with all those learnings and challenges you brought with you, so that you can move forward and evolve quicker or faster way. So yeah, when we understand this concept, we don't take it anything as personally. And when we have oneness concept within us, we treat everyone equal. Even doesn't matter if you're divorced or if you have any problem with kids, what, you are here to go through your journey. You are the one, your goal is matters more. Then why do you worry and waste your time with all those things, right? And you have oneness, so just love everyone equally, even though they hurt you. Hurt you means like it's there again to test you, how much you get hurt. so so take it. Yeah, thank you very much for hurting me and testing me. That those are your test cases, right? When there is a test, there are test cases you needed to test all the scenarios. So yeah, take those as in that that's in that that understanding. Then if we don't go through pain and waste time in paining and complaining, But we need to understand that the main thing is that doesn't come. You very maybe, we are in this path. Maybe earlier you never used to have these solutions, but at least we are contemplating. We are with the Sajjana Sangatya. Even though if I'm going through some problem, when I join this session, oh, that's true. I have this lesson learned, right? So I need to apply that. So it is so beautiful. That's why be with the like-minded people and always be with the books. Books that are making you happy, especially these spiritual books. So, we always come back to that, problem will be there in everybody's situation. We think, oh, we may see like, all enlightened people who doesn't have, they're so happy, but no, everyone has it. But they just evolved souls, they know that how to stay happy and reach their goal. So yeah, wonderful sharing, Sashank, and the example and everything was really makes so much sense. So thank you very much, as always.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much, Swarnaji. You're amazingly, wow, you really amazingly summarized the entire lesson. You even took those points that I have not shared today, because today's soul lesson is quite deep and quite heavy, and there are a lot of pages which I cannot share. You really put those points that I haven't shared. Thank you so much for giving
Thank
those.
you from everybody's wisdom sharing,
Thank you.
and just thank you very much.
Thank you, Sonaji. Hello, Sumati ji.
Hi, Sashank. Thank you so much for the wonderful meditation and the wisdom sharing, and all the masters, the beautiful ladies who shared their wisdom too. I just wanted to inform and share that the reason why we are so attuned and highly receptive to what you're saying, what you're sharing within the 4 stages is because of the enlightenment, this transcendental journey that we are getting from a primary level to secondary level to tertiary level of knowledge base. Yes, it's by means of meditation. But I just want to share, I just have this insight to feel that it is not something that you can impart or one would be receptive overnight when you tell your friends and family that you have to meditate. Because I've heard lots of sharing where people do not understand, what's happening. I mean, here someone is sharing a big issue and it makes no sense if we say, go and sit and meditate. Because in order to come to that stage, we have gone through all the 4 stages that you've informed. And I feel, in my personal opinion, that time plays a very valid factor, because it involves obviously acceptance, forgiveness, self-love, etc., etc. And funny enough, time is a major component. So I just feel that perhaps an element of reassuring that time would sort of heal, because you can't expect a person to be so receptive to sit and meditate. So probably to tell he or she to open up, and whatever they are going through in their journey of enlightenment, be it worshipping or chanting or meditating or yoga, I don't know, whatever it is, to keep going, but to give time and to embrace, self-love. Because for one to understand this is the soul's plan, the journey, it has to happen the way it has been planned or as it is. It's a difficult stage. But I feel that if we can reassure that the time plays a major role, and then to to feed in the other factors, it will all come to place. That's what I feel. I don't know if this helped. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Sumataji, very interesting. It's true, like always, like I also learned like it's time and also the understanding that you gain, and it's for every person, or let's say for every soul, it's different. It's not the same for everyone, but really well put.
Yeah, you're right,
Hmm?
Sashank, because with time, I forgot to add, they are learning. They are continuously learning with time.
Mhm.
The degree of feelings they've had reduces or changes to a better level.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is it. It's just not an independent factor. It's just intertwines with the
Yes,
other.
true.
You know, they gain more understanding,
Hmm. Yeah.
and slowly they accept it, whatever said and done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like every experience
yeah,
adding on top of it.
yeah. Thank you, Ji. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sumati ji. Hello, Vindhya ji.
Sorry, Shashank, I just again wanted to share after hearing things.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, like I know we talked about 4 stages, but from how you explained that example of that lady, I still feel like we may consider ourselves like reaching maybe journey master stage in one situation, like how she mastered, take being empathetic to others, or taking care of others. But then again, when it came to herself, it didn't work out, and she again had to go through another soul lesson. So I think maybe these stages come for each lesson again and again, right? It's not like you reach that stage and you're done. So another lesson, then you start again from student, apprentice, and that's how I kind of understood that. The other thing, when Ramji was talking that perspective too, I was also thinking it's not just a lesson that we learn just through our experience. It's something, it's also pointing out about others, how you react to others. If you don't go through their emotional turmoil, then there's no way you can help them. You have reached this, you understand their situation too, and remain detached and see that as a soul lesson for them. Then you are able to be in a better position to understand and support them. I think, yeah, all these perspectives are like coming into my mind as you're talking. One more thing, there was one line that you had mentioned. I thought that was so nice. You actually mentioned about the soul lesson and soul purpose, those two being, and very clearly you stated those two. I thought that was nice. I can't remember exact statement, but if you remember, you can share again, because we all look for our lesson and plan, and so soul plan and soul purpose, which is what you shared. And I think it is very generic and applies to all of us. So if you remember, you can share. Otherwise, we can listen again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vindhya ji, again, to putting for that wisdom. Yes, in the end of every soul lesson, our author puts it nicely. Your soul's lesson today is the soul grows to mastery through tests, and your soul's purpose to respond to life's challenges with calm acceptance, creative dignity, and grace. If you mean this, yeah,
Yes, yes. So
shared it.
beautiful. So is it different in each lesson, or is this the
It is
same?
different in each
Oh, okay.
end of the lesson.
It seems so generic. I thought it would apply in like all
Yeah,
situations, but yes, thank you.
thank you. For example, last week it was your soul's lesson, accept death, and
Oh,
your soul's purpose to live without fear. Yeah, it's like in one
okay.
statement, they she puts everything together.
And and here I'm sitting and thinking I have one purpose and one plan. No. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, friends. Really amazing. You're all amazingly sharing your experiences and wisdom that makes this group the best. So thank you so much for your group energies. Yeah, I learned a lot today. And if you don't have much questions, so I will hand over to Madhu Ram now. So over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shashank, and thanks everyone. There was one side you're sharing of this wisdom, and then there is the other side, which was everyone's sharings. So both are equally enriching my personal understanding of many things. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So thanks everyone too. And if you allow Shashank, then we will close today's session.
Oh yes, Ram, please. Thanks a lot once again.
Thank you, Shashank. And friends, that was another wonderful Monday, and we meet back tomorrow morning 6 a.m. for breath meditation, topic sharing, and meditation tomorrow, 6 a.m. Germany time, which is 9:30 a.m. India time. And then again tomorrow 6 p.m. where we have Master Nilima sharing, what was the topic?
Anatomy of the spirit.
It's Anatomy of the Spirit, that which continues on the third week now. So I wish you all a wonderful time ahead till we connect back soon. Namaste.